All right, so we made it to the hangar. I'm on my way to hangar 4 right now. And of course, the election is wrapping up, not just in the United States, but also in the Star Citizen universe as well. It's an election for Imperator, and this Imperator serves a term of 10 years. I don't know if they can be re-elected. I think it's just one term of 10 years. But yeah, that's what it's looking like here. I might visit other cities in the galaxy just to see if they've changed as well to support the election. But right now, New Babbage is really the place to be as far as that's concerned. I voted for Addison. Okay, so now this is our first ship that we're going to take a look at. And I've got some notes here, and I want to go ahead and pull those up and make sure that I have them available. So, this is the basic bare bones Origin 100 series, right? This is the 100i, and it is officially classified as a starter slash pathfinder. So when you go ahead and look the ship up on your terminal menu, um, or your ship menu in a terminal, you will see that that is what it is described as. So starting off, it is visually striking. It has a very nice flow. It reminds me of a high-end exotic vehicle. Um, it just is designed really, really, really well. It reminds me of a McLaren. Like if McLaren were to make ships, you would get the 100i. 100 series. And I'm a big fan of Origin ships in general. I just like their design, the UI, just everything about them. I'm an Origin simp, and I now own 4 Origin ships. So this little guy right here is pretty cool because it reminds me of a fighter jet in that way because you just have the little tank there. And then this ship also comes with a lot of interactive panels. So this is the quantum drive section here, something that you don't get to see on too many ships in this class. You also get to take a look at this baby, AIR, Adaptive Intake Refinery. And so what air is, it's a system that recycles the ambient hydrogen and refuels your engines using it. So when I say this ship is fuel efficient, I mean it is fuel efficient. This is literally the best ship, not just for long distance cruising, but also like delivery missions, even scouting. And the nice thing is, while this is a Pathfinder ship and you would want a feature like that in a Pathfinder ship, it's also standard on every other 100i as well. So this is the interior of the ship right here. I'm going to get to altitude first before we explore the interior of the ship, just so I don't get spawned out of my ship, because that has happened to me before in these types of reviews. No, we're not gonna do. Well, let's go ahead and get it flight ready. And since we don't plan on doing any dogfighting, let me go ahead and L spaceport for the UI.
You are clear to launch.
So, as I was saying before, the fuel efficiency of this ship allows you to go great distances in just one running. And I've tried to do delivery missions with larger ships, and it's not as fuel efficient. I'd probably say the MISC, it's literally a Freelancer. The MISC Freelancer is a great ship for hauling and going long distances. But this ship here, while lacking the cargo space of the MISC, it makes up for it in pretty much every other aspect. The way it looks, the way it feels, the way it flies. This ship is incredible. And It has pretty much all of the basics that you would need in just a skirmish, right? You've got 2 Strike Force missiles equipped. You've got 2 laser cannons right here. And again, this ship is designed to be as efficient and you know, able to go the distance. So not only does it recycle fuel, but I mean the laser turrets regenerate, power because it's pulling power from the ship, and so you don't really have to worry about running out of ammunition either. Um, and it just is a really, really neat ship. Now, there have been some people who've complained about the ship feeling a little sluggish. And you try to do like certain maneuvers, it just feels a little on the heavy side. And I know what they mean. This is still a luxury ship, okay? This is still a ship that, you know, isn't 100% designed with focus in mind, okay? So let's go ahead and we'll stop here and we'll go ahead and hover. The reason why I'm doing that is one time I walked through the cabin while I was at speed and my ship literally, well, my ship didn't do anything. I clipped through my ship because as you know, this game's still in alpha, it's still a work in progress, so things get really weird really quickly. But let's go ahead and take a look here at the interior of the ship. So you got this little bed here. This bed I first saw on the 300i, and I will do the 300i review, so don't worry. Many of you are already familiar with that ship, but those of you who aren't, you will see what I mean. So this is a less luxurious version of that bed. As you can see, the materials are still high quality. This is still a high quality bed, but it is simple by Origin standards, which are extremely high standards. But my favorite thing about this ship, really, is just this. It's the cockpit. It's the centerpiece of the ship. It's where you're gonna spend all your time because there isn't much to do back here. And it's spacious. It's inviting. And I love this little ovular design that they have here. Just some additional support struts in the ship, giving you plenty of view distance as you're flying about. So the RSI also has that frame going through a lot of their view points in their cockpits, but Origin does it in such an elegant and non-intrusive way. Like this is how it's supposed to look. RSI will throw a beam like right in front of you. Like when I was flying the RSI Constellation, it had that annoying, still beam like right in my face. And you literally had to just look past it and use your instrumentation to get a better understanding of where you're going. You can't really eyeball it. So, already, this is the best starter ship that you can buy, and there's a couple of them. Now, if you guys remember, I did the review of the Misk Reliant Core. The Misk Reliant Core was my favorite ship up until I got inside this ship. The Misk Reliant Core was great. It flew well. Didn't go too fast, but it had perfect handling. It had enough room for a co-pilot, and you could even do a little mining with it. This ship is not for any of that, okay? It's got bays for extra equipment, as you can see, and we're just taking a look at, our shield generator, our power generator, all right here, hidden behind that neat little door. And again, there's not too many ships that offer features like this. My 300i does not have this level of accessibility and interaction. And then here is, of course, the cargo bay. Now, this area of the ship, as well designed as it is not why this is the best area of the ship. Like, it looks really great. But what makes this ship one of the best ships in the game, and easily the best starter ship, is because of how it's designed. All the starter ships in the game, including the RSI Aurora and the what's the name? The Mustang Fighter. They sit high off the ground. You have to climb a ladder to get into the ship. And the problem is with that is when you're doing supply runs, okay, you need to be able, especially on uneven terrain, to get in and out of your ship instead of having to yeet boxes inside of it. But with the 100i series, you don't have to do that. The 100 series, you don't have to do that. Um, you literally just come in as we did earlier, and then you drop your boxes off back here. You want to know why I have 36,000 AUEC? It's because of how easy it is to just do shipping with this ship. It's fast, it's quick, it's agile, it's nimble. It gets you into space really quickly. It gets you where you need to go really quickly, and it's insanely fuel efficient. So, to show you exactly what I mean, and you guys know that this is what I do. I take ships and I fly them to space. It's what I do. So let's go ahead and do that. Full burn. And we're going to go ahead and climb up at a... Oh, too high. I like to go 70 degree angle of ascension here. And as you can see, we already went over 200 meters a second in atmosphere. No afterburner, nothing like that. This ship is surprisingly quick. Surprisingly quick. It's incredibly lightweight and agile. And look at my hydrogen fuel. I'm at 98%. 98% hydrogen fuel. And so we're cruising pretty at 450 meters a second and climbing. Okay, we have now left Atmo. And let me go ahead and fix this little film. It's a blue light film that I have that's active. And, you know, it helps my eyes, especially when it dims. I'm not as young as I used to be. But you can really see it with white. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, it's time to kick the filter off. But just in that short period of time, we're already halfway to orbit. So when you get to about 100,000 meters, 100 kilometers, you're officially in orbit. And as you can see, we're sitting pretty at 999 meters per second. So I've been in ships that have gone over 1,000 meters per second. So again, this ship isn't setting any speed records, but it's so incredibly quick. I mean, when you consider that performance along with the fact that we're barely using any fuel, we're at 14% of our thrust capacity. And look, it was 98 earlier, and our fuel went back up to 99. That is the air system at work, okay? That's air. That's what air does. No other ship in the game has something like air. So now we're going to go ahead and deaccelerate, and we're going to do a spacewalk. Now, surprisingly, I haven't been griefed very much. I thought I'd be griefed a lot ever since the latest update. I did get in one dogfight, and I luckily was flying the 125A, and we're going to do that review next because I believe that's the next ship in line. But yeah, it was quite the experience, and I got an opportunity to actually use what made that ship great. So now we are officially in orbit. Let me double check and make sure that my helmet is on. Yep. We are now ready for a spacewalk. And so now we can enjoy the ship in a way that you just don't get a chance to in Atmo. And so there's our glorious planet, New Babbage. Well, Microtech. New Babbage is the city, of course. And this is our beautiful 100i in all of its glory. It's such a stunning ship. It really is. It really is. And look at that tent. You don't see it inside the ship, but outside, see it. Outside you can see it very well in the sunlight. And just the intricacies of the detail, how the glass has like you know, streaks from a brush from like having been cleaned. It's really well done. And that's more of CIG's doing, you know, just their artistic touch on this ship. And, you know, again, my impulse to buy 3 100i ships was mostly fandom, but also because having 3 really great ships is better than one. Especially when bugs happen and stuff and you don't have to wait 5 minutes to get a new ship. So this is the Underbelly, okay? This is where the ship stores its 2 Strike Force missiles, which can, you know, put a hurting on people, on targets. And then all of these little plates and boards right here is where the landing gear is located. This is where the thrust is located. And then here, get a closer look at the cannons. The bearing laser cannons. And then here is the coolant system, which is one of my favorite things to do because I just think it looks so cool. So this feeds directly into the air system, which prevents your engines from blowing up under high stress, because we do that, and that's where the landing gear is. So the other 2 Origin 100 series ships are virtually identical. Virtually identical, okay? And a lot of people are going to say, well, I don't want to do what you did, 8-Bit Amethyst. I want to actually spend my money intelligently. So, should I even buy one of these? Well, the answer is yes, but which one do you want to buy, or which one should you buy? There's an easy answer for that. There's an easy answer for that, and that's going to actually be discussed during the aggregate study, but I want to give every ship its, you know, its fair shot. I want to be as, oof, oof. Okay. I want to be as unbiased as possible. So, let's go ahead and head back home. Like normally I would end the recordings here, but I enjoy flying the ship so much that we're just gonna fly back to where we were. And we should be able to eyeball New Babbage. And there it is. There's a spaceport down there. So, go ahead, full burn. So we're gonna aim for the edge of the city at the south, and then we're just gonna fly across. And so, as you can see, it's so incredibly bright because the sun, Stanton, is literally right behind us. And it's beautiful. And the white ship on the white planet, it's just got this very wintry-esque feel to it, and I love it. I just love this aesthetic. Um, so, neat thing about this ship. It has, from what I've been told, the most panels and buttons of any of the ships in Star Citizen. Oh, we're re-entering. White Comet. Beautiful. Now we are officially in Atmo. More than halfway there. So let's slow our descent down a little bit because you don't want to get too close to the ground. Now again, this is a fast ship, so you can deaccelerate pretty quickly. But with larger ships, you want to start coming off that accelerator pretty quick, or you'll end up in a mountain. So yeah, it has the most instrumentation of any ship in Star Citizen, I've been told. And so we have our engine on-off spool quantum drive, disengage cruise control, which is a new button. I haven't seen this in any of the ships I've flown. Disable ESP, enable proximity flight assist. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. And proximity flight is basically when you're about to hit something and a computer says, alert, alert. Now, I don't like the fact that the 100 series doesn't come with the odd directional warnings. Like there aren't any verbal warnings. It just says warning you're about to hit, and you see the warning pop up and where you're about to hit. But in other Origin ships, including the 300i, the AI will say, obstruction, port, starboard, nadir, etc., etc. And this ship doesn't do that, and I kind of miss it. So, closing thoughts on the 100i. It is truly a Pathfinder ship, and you can definitely put this bad boy on your 890 jump. You can maybe get it onto a 600i. Maybe get it onto a 600i. You're gonna have to be kind of crafty because the 600i has a door that drops beneath the ship, so it would be easier to do in Atmo. I mean, in 0G, I think. But yeah, it's definitely a Pathfinder ship. I mean, look at all the flying that we did, and we're still at 99% fuel. So when I say the ship's fuel efficient, that's what I mean. And we're running a stock setup. Like this isn't even the ship's true form. Like there's more work that you can do to it, aftermarket parts, things like that that you can buy. The ship's incredible. So when you hear the engine kick in that second time, that's when your ship has finished adjusting to the new bearing that you've given it, and then the ship will kick back up to full because there's so many computers in these things. It's crazy. But yeah, let's go ahead and do a little high-speed maneuvering here, just so I can show off how maneuverable it is. And hopefully I don't make a fool of myself. Like, regardless of what happens, I'm uploading this video. So if I crash or something, I'm going to upload it, and then you guys can just make fun of me. But yeah, it's, you see how it drifted a little bit there? That's what people are talking about. Like, that's their complaint of how the ship's just a little heavy. But you can compensate. You can compensate for it if you know in what ways it's going to be heavy because it drifts a little bit. So treat this ship like you're flying a rear-wheel drive car and you'll be fine. Because the tail does kick out. And you can compensate by strafing your ship. So you can actually strafe into the turn to mitigate that drift that you get at high speeds. So let's go ahead. So there's the drift right there. And it's a lot easier to see when you're not in the cockpit. So yeah, other ships I've flown, they overheat a lot quicker than this ship. Um, compare this with the RSI Aurora. Like it literally, it literally will freaking the engines will overheat and like that. Like you just give it a little juice and it's already hot. But not this ship, not the 100i. Alright, so now let's go ahead and hell. Come on. I knew this would bug out because I had it on the menu, the comms menu when we took off. So usually good rule of thumb to know like what the heck's going on when things just start to reset by themselves.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay. Contact.
So yeah, there's the potentially hostile ship. We're in the armistice zone, so I'm not worried about him trying to, you know, try some crap. But, you know, stranger things have happened. I couldn't imagine what the poor Olisar boys are dealing with right now because you could literally snipe people from a distance on Port Olisar, but I don't frequent Port Olisar. Like I like terra firma, I like mega cities, and opulence and all of that stuff. So New Babbage is my home. That's if I lived in the Star Citizen universe, this is where I'd be in real life, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna land this bird, and then let's just take a quick look at just what kind of equipment it has. But yeah, you see how that collision alert popped up, but there's no voice that says collision alert. I kind of miss that. Not even kind of miss it, I do miss it.
Landing complete.
Alright, done deal.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay. Weapons deactivated.
So, let's take a look here at the vehicle loadout manager. And this is like the superstructure of the ship, which Star Citizen, CIG, I guess. I mean, it's loaded in. I like kind of seeing the guts of the ship as well. It's pretty cool. But as you can see, that at item port missile slot 1, that's still in development. But they're Strike Force 2s, and they work. And you've got the basic quantum drive here that comes with the ship. I don't know exactly which one it is. It says so on the website, but And then the Arctic Storm coolers, which, as you can see, I was able to get plenty of afterburn out of the engines without it going to meltdown. Um, Nice power plant. Shield generators decent. I was in a firefight with the 125A, so I know it's good for it. And then of course our laser cannons. And that is the 100i. So the next one is going to be the 135A, I believe, and that should be a blast. But thank you guys again for watching. I'm so humbled and happy that I found some people out there that do appreciate this type of content. I'll be the first to admit that it's not Hollywood production quality, but everyone's got to start somewhere. And I love this game, and I love talking about ships, and I love talking to you guys. So take care, and see you in the verse. Bye bye.